Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6 as Canada. Now you'll probably notice two things in this video. The first one is that I am having a slight allergy attack, so my nose is congested. The second thing that you'll notice is that I went through and planned a large part of the empire that I would like to achieve. Thanks in no small part to the mod Detailed Map Tags. Now, kind of like talk you through the philosophy of how I've planned my empire here. My two main goals here were to get really high adjacency on my theater squares, as well as really good adjacency on my hockey rings, and then to use any of the appeal from hockey rings, because if you do not know, they do actually give you +2 appeal, and use that appeal in national parks. So you can see here, this hockey ring that I have planned is right next to a national park, which means this national park will be buffed. And then I tried to also weave in the occasional preserve. So you can see here in the center of all these national parks is a preserve. The preserve is fantastic for this. Even if I have to give up the deer, which is super powered, I don't have to give that up right away. I can build this in the late game. But yeah, the power of this is that the preserve gives me housing, based on these national park tiles, because they'll be high appeal, and that also gives appeal to these tiles, which means that gets me more tourism. So my goal here was to optimize my culture output and my tourism output, and then occasionally weaving in a city with a industrial zone. And as I get closer to these mountains over here, I'll probably weave in campuses as well. I don't really have this area fully explored, so I think we're gonna primarily focus on settling this sort of empire and then setting it up. And there's a couple of farm triangles sprinkled in, mainly in cities that won't be getting preserves. I wanted to make sure that the cities had enough growth, because the preserve actually gives you a decent amount of growth, and so if it doesn't have a preserve, I wanted to compensate for that lack of a preserve with something else. Now, which city would I like to settle next? I feel like this city over here near the really high production tiles that got burnt down is probably my best bet for my next city. And I know the UI is a little bit cluttered because of all the pins. You'll just have to accept that that's the way it is. As we fill out the infrastructure of my empire, this should get a little bit cleaner. I should probably take time somewhere to get some more scouts, because it's about time in the game that I started meeting other players, because I'm starting to generate a little bit of tourism, mainly from this wonder, and that little bit of tourism should get applied to as many people as possible in the early game, so that in the long term I end up needing less tourism overall to actually win. Now, unfortunately, the barbarians do have access to crossbowmen right now, and I don't have a good answer for that in the short term, but man, look at this iron mine. Oh my goodness. One of the more important boosts to get is 6 farms for feudalism, so that's probably going to be a priority for me. I do have another governor title, and I can go a few different ways. I could go for Pingala here, who would give me the science and culture that I need. I'll probably put Pingala in the capital eventually, because it's going to be a really tall capital, so it'll be able to take advantage of that. But I'm not sure what to do with this governor title. I don't think I need Victor. I could maybe use Amani to get suzerainty back on Geneva. I could use Amani to get suzerainty of Antananarivo. Tana would be pretty good for me here in this game. It'd be a lot of culture over the course of the game. Not a huge amount right now. Auckland doesn't do anything for me because I don't have things. So maybe Amani isn't the right choice. I could go for Moksha, but before Moksha would really be useful, I'd have to get all the way down to Divine Architect to spend my faith, and I'm not making that much faith. Liang could be good here. All builders trained in this city will get +1 build charge. As Canada, we scale really hard off builders, so maybe plugging in Liang early would be good. Pingala gives you just tons of science and stuff, and then Reina will probably be a big deal for me later on in the game when I settle this city, because this city is going to have mostly unimproved features in it. I may actually rework it a bit, but there'll be a significant amount of unimproved features. I think Reina will definitely fit into my game plan. I don't think she fits into it yet until I have my preserves up. So for me, it's between Pingala and Liang, and I usually go Pingala first. So I think this game we're going to go for Liang and just plug her into Montreal, and that means any builders that come out of here will be slightly better, and this city should grow relatively quickly and get itself improved relatively quickly. I completely forgot there was a crossbowman down here and then walked towards him again. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I am messing up. I could hire a spearman from this clan. I don't think I'm going to bother doing that. I think, you know what? I have 350 gold. Now, I could spend that on a granary in the capital, which would allow me to continue to grow this capital, continue to work new tiles. And I think that's the move. We go for the granary in here. The taller I can grow my capital, the better. Another barb camp appeared over here, and they offer swordsmen. So I'm probably going to wait until I can buy a swordsman off them before I try to move any settlers up here. It's the one downside of having these pins everywhere is they kind of take up the UI. I still wish there was like a button I could press to just hide all pins temporarily. Like if it was like a GUI layer. I really wish it was that. Now, we just got the watermill, and as much as I want to buy this holy site tile to actually place my holy site, I think I have to save to start buying swordsmen off of these clans. So that kind of leaves me in a bit of an awkward place in this city. I could go for settlers here too. I mean, I can afford that tile, but it would put me behind. It would put me a few turns behind on getting this. Man, I think all the religions are basically gone, so there's no point me actually pushing for this for a religion. It's more so this is just like a really good holy site, so I may as well build it. Especially if I get Hildegard of Bingen as a great scientist, which, you know, isn't completely unheard of. You know, she is available. I could save up for her and get her, or work, you know, great scientist projects, but it's unlikely that I would get her because I'm 128 turns and these guys are much closer. I could push for Hildegard of Bingen. Now, that's also an option. Now, if I do that, it would require me to probably purchase this library and immediately start working campus research grants. I think I would finish the settler because it's only 2 turns. What would I do in Hamilton in the meantime? Because this is potentially 14 science. This is like 7 to 14 science per turn for me off of that holy site. So that's not insignificant. That's worth considering. Oh, you know what I'm going to get in Hamilton actually? Yeah. I need like 3 scouts because this is a very big map and I want to explore it. So I think I'll grab 3 scouts now at this point of the game because I'm not doing too badly. We are going to get working on drama and poetry because we do want to place down our theatre squares relatively early if possible. And I think we're going to go for classical republic. That extra 15% great people points is going to be super helpful. Let's plug in inspiration for 2 great scientist points per turn. Then we'll also plug in urban planning, and we'll probably plug in Ilkham in the near future to try to snag a little bit of extra production towards builders over here in Montreal while we push for this great scientist. I just really hope that this trade route survives. It's like pretty important to me. Okay, my poor little scout's getting attacked by quadriremes. I don't like that. All right, we found Menelik, which is cool. Oh, he's actually just to our... He must have just settled that city. That's going to require a unit defense because I do not have a good relationship with Menelik yet. So let's start making a good relationship with him. The first thing I'll do is I'll sell him some furs. I'm also going to sell 20 iron to you. 3 gold per turn, perfect. And then I'll send a delegation. So my hope is that we will get a good friendship with him and he won't want to go to war. He is fairly strong right now, so I super do not want to go to war with him. A little bit worried about loyalty memes. If I'm going to settle this desert, it has to be soon. So I think I'll sacrifice desert, which means that is going. This city, this thing was cleared. So I can actually send my settler up there to get this city underway. This one isn't very good, but it does have access to furs, which is good. A lot of furs over here, actually. So let's start moving this way. So my game crashed and I have to replay this turn. I don't remember exactly what I did, but I know it was something vaguely like moving units around this barb camp got cleared, etc. But I'll just do it real quick. The annoying thing is all of my trade deals got cancelled. So making 47 gold per turn. I need 2,000 to purchase Hildegard right now. I can chop a couple of these tiles here pretty safely with this builder in order to finish these campus projects sooner. And I have Magnus in the city, which makes that an even better proposition for me. So I think that's what I'm going to work on. Right, so this is 61 production I chopped. That insta finishes a campus research grant, which boosts me to the top of the list for Hildegard. And I think if I do that again, I can pretty comfortably get Hildegard. And then I can super hardcore justify building this. I'm liking how this is working out for me right now. Feeling good. So ideally, I don't want to chop any of these woods if I can. But some of these woods are... you know, they're kind of expendable because there's going to be infrastructure going underneath them. So if I chop them early into the game, it's not the end of the world. So it's 27 turns until we get Hildegard, according to this. I'll wait a turn to chop this. My archer's in Montreal, which should maybe deter Ethiopia from considering attacking me. His army is quite a bit smaller than mine, so I think I'm protected for a little while anyway. Right, boom, another campus research grant finished. We jump to the top of the list. I come in here, I slap down another campus research grant, I chop. That'll finish next turn, and then that should put us very, very close to having Hildegard. Another campus research grant is about to finish. Now we have construction. So builders have become way more valuable here. Now, saying 3 turns, I'll likely have to do like 1 more campus research grant. And then I should be able to purchase her for gold. Which sucks because I did want to buy a barb unit, but you kind of have to play things by ear sometimes. I'm going to pick up currency. I think a few commercial hubs this game are going to be important. In particular, cities. Like, for example, there's a couple of cities over here where I could kind of sneak one in to some of these builds. Like, they could slap a commercial hub there, I could slap one here. And having more trade routes is going to actually result in me having more tourism. So that's going to form part of my plan. I really need to start thinking about science with this mountain range here. But we got our 3 scouts. I think one's going to go south, one's going to go west, one's going to go northwest. And then this one over here is going to try to scout down here. I think this is China. I think this is where China goes. Is this the Gobi Desert then? And then this is like Russia? I think that's where we are. Which means this is, I don't know where this is. This looks like, this could be anywhere in Europe really. I have no context. So I could buy this tile now. I would put myself behind 2 turns on this. I think that works out okay, because like if I start the holy site now, by the time I'm about to finish it, Hildegard will only be a few turns old, which means I won't have wasted much of her potential. So I think I go for that holy site now. This is actually working out in a really interesting way. This isn't how I envisioned this game going, with the whole holy site generating science thing that I'm going to be able to pull off here. Now, I won't get a religion. Very unlikely that I get one. It's painfully unlikely. So we settle here, we delete this pin, we immediately place our theater square, but we don't immediately work on it. I'd love to get these furs online. I think I come over here to Montreal as well and place the theater square like so. And the reason we placed them is so we can delete the pins, and also it locks in the production cost of this district. So this district will never cost me more than 122 gold to build, because that's what it cost the turn I placed it down. And I feel like builders are the thing I go for here. So I'm going to take out colonization and plug in Ilkum, and then later on I'll plug in colonization once I'm finished getting Hildegard. Let's pick up military tradition for flanking and support, and then we want to head towards feudalism. Feudalism is just so good early. I want to break his suzerainty of this, because I don't want him having that suzerainty. He has crossbowmen, so there's no way we're going to war. We have found Egypt, which is nice. Let's send a delegation. Let's also declare friendship. I think I found Egypt a couple turns ago, actually. We'll get mutual open borders. They don't want any iron. Basel does need iron, and I'm happy to sell the AI strategic resources. Okay, I'm friends with Egypt and Hungary right now, which kind of works out fine for me. Starting to get converted by Byzantium, of all people. Now I have horses online, so it's another thing I can sell to the AI. I'm kind of tempted to snag this tile. I don't want to spend my money, though, when I'm going for Hildegard. Ugh. So I'm 12 turns away from getting it, so I should 100% get Hildegard. Oh, we finally discovered Europe. We actually found this. So I imagine this is the Urals, I think? The Urals? I have no idea how to pronounce them. I know that's where, like, the middle of Russia is, right? It's like the little mountain range that separates, like, Asian Russia and European Russia. Like, that's the usual geographic landmark that people use. God, I really want to buy those horses. I'm doing it. I don't care. I want to make sure that I have 2 really good tiles here for Montreal. Another city-state we found. I'm very happy with the scouting that's happening right now. Alright, nice. My capital reached 10 population, which does give me the boost towards civil service, which is nice, because that's one that I rarely get. Now, apprenticeship would be nice for the extra mines, but I actually don't have that many mines, so maybe it would be okay for me to delay that slightly. I think I'll put a couple of mines in my capital, though. More production in my capital is my priority now in the short term. Yeah, I think it's okay to slowly work on apprenticeship here. I think that's okay. Oh, the Zangi Danxia. Now, this actually makes settling down here a much better proposition, and I think I'm going to make that a priority. This is actually like a really good starting location, because you start like right near this and right near this. It could have been a really good holy site down there too. If I had maybe spawned a little bit more south, I would have gone for a holy site. We also found Mansa Musa. Now that is good. He should be very willing to make any sorts of trade deals. He has silk, and he's only going to charge me 1 gold per turn for it, so I'll take that. It's 1 gold per turn. I'll send him a delegation. I want to be friendly with as many people as possible, and I also just want to know as many people as possible. Okay, we did the final campus research grant. We're a few turns away. I think I just buy Hildegard here to secure it, barring any like AI shenanigans to steal it. So I'm just going to buy her. She's mine now, and let's probably going to be the only great scientist we get for most of this game. And we'll get her to walk over. Well, I guess I can teleport her over there. But now I'm going to go for Ancestral Hall because it's now time for mass settling. Once this is finished, I think that's when it's like ultra go time on the settling thing. I've been kind of slowly fishing out settlements here or there and, you know, not really expanding rapidly. But this is the phase of the game. I'm on 4 cities at turn 77. Is very slow. And now my goal is to mass expand. I'm going to spend my money to get a high pacifist here and try to use that to actually clear this barb camp. And I'm bringing this scout down because I'd like to clear that barb camp with this scout if I could. Oh, speaking of things, I need to come into my capital and buy this tile and actually place the theater square in here, and that'll clear up another pin. Pop a mine down here, 1 production or 1 food for production. Very cool. The city is struggling for production a little bit, but I'm hoping that these 2 builders that I have on the way will make the difference. There's another player over here to the west. Let's get another friendship. Hello. I want as many friendships as possible. I also need to start trading soon. That's going to be a big important thing because I need to get trade posts, especially through Hungary, because that'll allow me to reach other players. But I'm going to need to start trading with like Egypt, trading with Ethiopia. Christina. Now that's a bit of a problem for me because she's going to be competing for great writers and stuff. It looks like a lot of people are. So I think I sent her a delegation, see if she'll give me mutual open borders, sell her some iron. I need to start getting those furs online because I think I'm basically the only person aside from Hungary that has furs. Like if I go to my resources lens and only look at furs, you can see there's a little bit of furs over here, but almost all the furs are over where I am at. So yeah, I need to get those furs up. Hildegard's in position, 2 turns until this finishes, and then that'll be a nice boost to my science. It won't quite fix my science problem, but my science problem will slowly fix itself throughout the game. I'd love to get a golden age. Can I get more Eureka somehow? Suzerainty? I don't think I'm going to be able to get a golden age here. Oh, that's so bad. I was really hoping for it. Boom. First holy site with adjacency of 3 or higher. Do I just bite the bullet on a galley purchase in my capital? God, that's so gross. I think I do. I think I bite the bullet. Anyway, Hildegard, I'm going to get 100 faith here, as well as a very nice boost to my science. So this city is now cranking out an extra 7 science from that holy site, which is fantastic, especially if I decide to plug in that extra holy site card, because that applies doubly to me. I don't know if I'm going to go shrine here. Does my capital need help settling? Now, that's a question. I think yes. Although I really want to preserve. I think I need to get my yields up, actually. So I'm going to go preserve into grove. I get that up as soon as possible because, yeah, yields are king here, I think. The grove is fairly expensive. Oh, do I go for a builder in this city, actually? Let's see. We're working in fairly unimproved tiles. If I got a couple of lumber mills, yeah, builder. Canada is the civ. Is the civ that scales off builders right now as far as I'm concerned. So if there's ever like a question of like what do I get and one of those options is a builder, I think that's just what I go for. Every civ scales off settlers and scales off builders, but Canada scales off builders to an insane degree because they get those extra yields on tundra that no other civ can get. Alright, so we bite the bullet, we buy the galley, we get our 2 era score, we guarantee the golden age, which means this faith can be used to get settlers or builders, which again my civ scales off of. And then we'll start heading towards feudalism because that's going to be more builder relevance, right? And again, my civ scales off builders, so better builders is just better. So he'll give me a little bit of gold for mutual open borders. He doesn't need iron or anything like that. Resource screen. Mansa Musa could use some horses. There you go, bud. And I think he'll also buy my iron off me. I kind of want these luxuries from you. I'll pay the 6 gold per turn for all these luxuries because I've come to respect getting amenities from the AI a lot more recently. Because like, just look at my capital. It's getting a 20% production boost from that. Now, I could raid this for 30 gold, but I'm not going to because I want to clear it with this scout. I'm trying to baby this scout until it gets to level 4. Ancestral Hall is finished, which means we take away inspiration, we plug in colonization, and we start pumping, dude. 3 turns on settlers. Can you feel the burn? I really want rain of this game, but Pengala is always just a great way to catch up when you're behind. So I'm going to pop him into Hamilton to get like suboptimal yields for now, but that'll slowly improve over time. And the great thing is we haven't even improved all the tiles in the capital. We can start maybe buying these furs as well. Get another furs online to sell to the AI. I have a useless galley, but you know, at least it makes my army score look better, which gives me diplomatic advantages with the AI. That's like the one saving grace of having to buy that galley. Right, builder in Hamilton. If Hamilton is ever getting a farm triangle, it's probably like here maybe or something. So I'm just gonna start laying down memes. I could use a granary in here. I want the city to keep growing. My empire scales heavily off of population and the number of tiles that we could work. So housing is actually a really big deal for me. As much as I want to start the preserve right now, I'm about to improve like 3 more tiles. Disperse the clan. We are up to 61 out of 90. I could probably have plugged in the scout experience card there to get like a little bit extra, but I don't know if that even works there. Right, another camp in the capital. And improved after natural disaster. So there was actually plenty of era score left. I was just panicking about the galley. The galley purchase, probably unnecessary. Let's start developing this city right here. Lumber mill. Mass production boosted. Cool. I'm loving the scouting information I'm getting. I think I'm into Africa here. Or is this Persia? Is this the Himalayas? It's kind of hard to tell exactly where you are on the map. I'm doing my best. I know this is like Europe somewhere. Like maybe this is St. Petersburg, Poland / Russia area. Maybe is Byzantium in Poland right now? I did see the map a couple of times, so I know vaguely where things should be. Ooh, Inca, very cool. Let's have a trade with you. I definitely need like a UI mod for my my trading screen because I think I already have truffles. Yeah, I already have truffles, so I don't need to buy it, but I can go and sell my furs here. Oh, we have discovered Africa. Very cool. I think it's just down here. Yep, continent Africa. Some very nice luxury resources down here. I'm not going to get to do any kind of colonial memes this game, which I'm a little bit sad about, but it is what it is, right? Like, yeah, the world enters the medieval era and we are doing it in a golden age. Let's take the very obvious monumentality here. Settle down this city, delete this pin. We can start getting a farm or two. Right, look at that. That's a 4-food farm with 0 feudalism buffs. Right? Canada is insane on Tundra, dude. We're going to be able to grow this city like no other. I'd really like to start earning great people points because I'm falling behind on the Great Rider front, and I really don't like that. So I'm going to stop off for 3 turns for a theatre square. I may also stop off for an amphitheatre as well. It's a distinct possibility. Right, we have the granary in Hamilton. The city is continuing to grow. Now, it's hit a growth cap in the sense that it's not getting enough food to grow. I don't think the shrine does much for me here. Although, then again, faith in this era is huge. So I think 2-turning a shrine for an extra 3 faith per turn because the Great Prophet Point gets converted into faith means that I'll be able to purchase like extra builders and stuff throughout this era. Speaking of which, I'll be able to purchase a settler next turn. So even though I'm stopping off to build certain things, it's not going to cripple my my memes. Now this city unfortunately has really bad production, which I think means we just need to improve the tiles. So I think I grab that furs in here and maybe a lumber mill and just work on that theatre square. If I can get these 4 theatre squares up, I've got one coming online over here. I've got another one coming online here, another in my capital, another here. That would get me 4 points per turn, which would very quickly propel me along the path I want to be on. Spain's looking for a joint war on Basel. I'm not really interested, so I'm gonna see if he'll just buy these things off me for gold, and I think he will. That's awesome. I would like new districts built by me to act as culture bombs, so I'm gonna vote that up for myself twice, which I think secures it for me. And then it would be neat if units were half production, because that would make the AI more likely to fight each other, which would be super neat for me. I love the ability of Canada to be able to buy tiles. Combined with camp gold means you can kind of have a lot of control over how your empire expands in the early game. Shrines in Hamilton now, and this city has amazing production thanks to all those amenities we bought with the extra 10%. So now I feel safe going for the preserve, and we should be able to get a grove fairly quickly in here, which means mega yields on these few tiles around here. Theatre Square finished in Montreal. Now the question is, right, we're behind. So let me filter these by great writers. A lot of great writers have gone already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 great writers have already gone this game, which means I just absolutely cannot allow any more to go without at least competing for them. So I think amphitheaters are just 100% it. Like, I just have to instantly go for theatre squares and build them wherever it's appropriate in a city. One really good side effect of growing fast as Canada that people don't tend to talk about is the fact that because your city hits growth milestones sooner, your districts, when you place them, will actually be cheaper on average. So that's something you want to keep an eye out for. Because obviously the faster you grow, the faster you place down your districts, which means naturally your districts will have a lower price because you'll be less far along in the... Oh, there's the Matterhorn. Oh, admiration. Very cool. Where? The Matterhorn in the Alps? Well, the good news is we have the Matterhorn buff now. And we found the Mayans, which in what I assume is like North Africa. How would you like to buy Muffers, milady. 5 gold per turn. I'll take that deal. Mutual open border. It'll make me pay slightly. That's okay. Oh, right. I should totally place the industrial zone in my capital as well. Completely forgot about that. Maybe I should get my library. Man, infrastructure. It's so hard to balance settling and getting infrastructure. There it is. There's Mount Everest. I thought, like, it's an Earth map that you gotta have Everest. So if that's India. Is Australia in, like, New Zealand? Can I look at the edge of the map? So Antarctica is, like, there. So I guess this is, like, Australia or New Zealand based on positioning. So this is Africa. This is Europe. America's, like, way the fuck over here to the east. We found Mohenjo-Daro. Not one that I super need friends with, but I do need to start thinking about these missions, like, especially when they overlap. When places have the same mission, I think that's when the value of getting those envoys actually goes up a lot. Now, we have a trade route in our capital, and like I was talking about earlier, it would be really, really good to start getting trading posts. Debrecen, or whatever it's called, is a gateway to potentially Nubia and Egypt. So I'm going to start trading with there. 1 food, 1 production, 3 gold. That trade route will get better over time. Winnipeg, let's buy this so you have another productive tile. Montreal, should I get a builder in here and get some lumber mills? It's a lot of production. Could also chop. Don't know about that one, chief. So now that I'm starting to make friends with people, it's good to put 1 point in every city-state in terms of envoys. I am going to want to make sure that I have the card that gives me +2 envoys, my first envoy in, though, before I do that. Purely just so we're more efficiently making use of our envoys. And suzerainty of a lot of those cultural city-states is going to be a goal here. Now, I could chop out this monument. That's worth 2 culture per turn. Or I could chop a theater square. 2 culture per turn right now actually sounds really nice. And then I can just lay the theater square down. Lovely, we got a preserve in Hamilton. Now we're going to get the Grove. That should give, in theory, +2 food, culture, and fate to all of the tiles here, except for the camp, which is improved. And I'm happy to sacrifice that camp tile. It's only going to take 5 turns to build as well. I heard a barb camp noise up here to the north, so let's get at least some of these units moving in that direction. You can start to see that some of my pins are going away as I fill out my empire's infrastructure. That is the ideal scenario. Yeah, there's a pin, there's a thing telling me that there might be barbs here. So I'm going to trust my instincts and move that way to try to clear it out. A little bit worried about Menelik's military score outstripping mine. I think I'm okay short term, but I think things are going to get pretty nasty between us at least once this game. We got the amphitheater in the capital, so that is some great rider points. I feel like settling is just so good. It's a power move for sure. Place that aqueduct. The sooner we get these cities out, the sooner my empire starts chooching. Boom. Settle in place. How many farms do I have right now? 1, 2, 3. I only have 3 farms, so I would need 3 more to boost feudalism. I tell you what I'll do. Go ahead, buy this tile. Buy a builder in Montreal. I think I'm going to spend my gold on builders here. Builders and tile expansion. It's like the big thing for me. Now, I can't really place much in the city until it grows out here, because this is where its theater square is going, for example. But I mean, I guess a commercial hub wouldn't be the worst thing to go for early. Start getting those trade routes out. It's not terrible. It saves me production later on in the game, but we'll probably go for like Monument Granary in here to get these borders expanding. Let's get Pingala promoted with Researcher. I need that science overall. I'm going to have plenty of culture this game, so getting that science up is fantastic. I'm getting 20 science from just Hamilton now. And while sure, I'm super far behind in terms of science right now, but, you know, you add a little bit of Guga's rub, you roast it with the flamethrower, you know, that steak is going to look pretty good. Sorry, hang on. I for a moment there, I stopped playing Civ. My mind was just transported to delicious meat. God, can you not be weird and just cross the river, please? All right, so I've taken all of Menelik's gold per turn, which feels good to me. By crippling his economy, he's less likely to be able to afford an army to go to war with me, which is fantastic from my perspective. I do have another furs to sell. You're already buying one. Wonder if old man Byzantium, does he want to buy some? Thanks very much, Basil. Why'd you buy my yee-ass iron here too? Making a pretty penny here. Making a very, very pretty penny. Sent a message to Jenny, and she sent me a pretty penny. Just the whiskey in the jarro. Ooh, how long bay? Neat. I didn't know that was here. I kind of wish I had this. It's actually my favorite. I'd say it's in my like top 3 natural wonders. I would give it, just because it's a fun one. Like, you settle here, and you got these 2 really good tiles. Like, you know what I mean? I just really like it. I can't honestly explain why. I have preferences. Like, certain, like, I just like this. I can't explain it. Some things I just like. That's who I am. But some things I can't explain, like preference-wise. Like your mom. Got him. Playing Civ, I know that much. But I'm talking more abstract. What are we doing? I feel like there could be a national park here. We're exploring potential. Ooh, I could buy a man-at-arms for 382 gold. Don't mind if I do. And then if I immediately send that to try to clear your barb camp. Boom. Feudalism boosted. We got our farms down. It is in a farm triangle on a plains area, which is not ideal, but it'll give this place some reasonably good tiles to work. Kind of lives on the edge of the tundra. We'll be able to get those extra 2 build charges, which is going to be fantastic for the rest of our settling. We've got a very efficient empire getting ready here. I think a city-state was just murdered here. Or no. They're trying to get through, but I'm blocking them because I want to get through. Let me through first, and then you can come through. Oh, friendship with Menelik? Yeah, with Ethiopia. So now I'm pretty safe. No one's going to go to war with me. I don't really have a whole lot to worry about. We got our grove. Oh my god, look at these yields. I need like some MLG, like dubstep, and then like zoom in on the yields, and then like maybe on the grove, like it needs like one of those like scumbag caps, and then like a spliff. It's like, you know, like those 2014 memes. That's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling like a 2014 boy. So we're never improving these tiles, but I think it would be good to work a couple of them because we would grow a little bit quicker, and we do get the extra culture and faith. I think it's at least worth it now to work these natural wonder tiles, because yeah, like, I mean, just look at those natural wonder tiles. It's kind of a crazy amount of stuff. I am going to tell the city to focus on production so that any new pop that grows, but this is just going to ensure that we grow a little bit quicker. So what do we do in Hamilton now? We've got 2 turns until we get our next thing, our next district, which may actually be an encampment in here. Weirdly, I could also go for the entertainment complex early here to get the extra adjacency. I could also assist the capital in settling, but I do want the city to grow. The city doesn't need another builder. I could build builders to send to other cities. I could also build a little bit of a military. I think I just get the walls here. Get those walls up. We feel a little bit safer. I think there's also a boost for building ancient walls, although I may have already done that thing. It's hard to keep track of all your boosts. Ya boosts. What's up? It's ya boy, PotatoMcWhiskey. Kill here. Snag myself some +1 XP on this boy, right? He's at 62 out of 90 XP. Goal is get this bad boy up to having the +20 combat strength promotion. I don't know why. I've just given myself this mission. It's completely irrelevant to my game plan, but it's like, I gotta do it, man. I gotta achieve it. You ever do that in your games? You know, you're just like, you're playing along and it's like, oh, I gotta win by science. But then there's like a part of you that's like, yeah, but I also gotta nuke someone. It's just, you just add in like an extra little goal that makes no sense for the context of the game you're playing. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna try winning by doing this. But also, I must do this as well. I would like to get military engineering. Finding Niter would be neato. So tech-wise, I'm actually not super worried about tech. I think my main goal for tech are to get things like Niter, industrialization. I don't have to worry about flooding, so computers, I only care about computers for the 25% tourism. So I could actually go for early Eiffel Tower here. And if I'm going for early Eiffel Tower, see, Niter mine, it definitely involves like maybe getting knights and crossbowmen and stuff. So I think I just start cranking out a couple of extra units in here in Hamilton. I think I'm going to get 2 archers so that I can boost machinery. I'm going to stop off for an aqueduct in my capital. Because remember, I don't have really good science, so I need to convert my production into science through boosts. So picking up aqueduct is good. Picking up feudalism. I'll probably get castles here. I think I'm going to go straight into monarchy now and then go for wall plays so I can get all that diplo favor. But yeah, I'm going to grab that aqueduct. Plus, it lines up nicely with my housing. Oh, hey, we only got a spearman defending this camp. I could let this camp develop. It's a little bit too close. If it was 1 tile to the left, I may actually let it develop. Finally, I got to cross this river. We found the Sahara El Beta. Nice. Beta. I'm sorry. Every time I see Sahara El Beta, I just have to shout the word beta. This man stepped out to attack me, which is fine. Get a little bit of experience on that man-at-arms. We disperse the clan. Ooh, very nice. 3 era score, and the scout is now at 72 out of 90 XP. We're inching our way towards that promotion, boys. Really excited for feudalism next turn. It's going to open up options when it comes to farm triangle memes. Lots of housing, lots of food, lots of growth. Very cool era score from feudalism. Now all my little farmy boys. If I come down here, I can show you the prime materia here, the example. Delete this farm pin. Look at these. 4 food tiles, boom. 5 food tundra tiles. You tell me you can find tiles like that anywhere and I'll call you a liar. In fact, this city has so much food that it may actually be worth my while to like unironically work. Do I need this much surplus food? Probably not. I could do with an extra 2 culture though. That's like a significant amount of culture here in this game. Boom, +2 build charges. I've been excited about that for a while. Gonna mean big things for my my builder purchases now. Like boom, 6 charges. I may just hard build my settlers and then purchase builders to improve. It would be good to pick up shipbuilding purely to be able to embark and maybe scout along coastlines and stuff. Have a look down here, see if there's anyone living in Indonesia. I've found like a good portion of the people on the map so far. So I think I'd like an encampment here in Hamilton. It's a place where I could get military engineers. It provides me with defense against Hungary. It gives the city more housing. It doesn't interrupt anything. It potentially lets me get an okay campus here later on. Yeah, I think for a bunch of reasons, I think I go for the encampment here in Hamilton. It'll let me maybe build an armory. There's a tech boost associated with that, military engineers, all that jazz. Just a lot of options open up to you. So we got our amphitheater in Montreal. In terms of other districts we could go for here, I'm kind of more interested in, I could get that entertainment square. Ooh, I do need a Diplo quarter. Yeah. Let's get the Diplo quarter in Montreal. Getting those extra envoy points is going to be pretty big deal. Halifax is developing nicely. It would like a builder. I'd like to hold off on building city center buildings. I'm kind of hoping for next era to get the city center buildings, or next World Congress rather, and that would allow me to build them all pretty efficiently. I mean, they're great buildings, don't get me wrong, but I just don't need to rush them. Let's get that commercial hub up. Yeah, is Petra? Is Petra taken? I imagine it's gotta be. Petra is still around, weirdly enough. Now, I'm never getting Petra in this city unless I do some serious shenanigans. Settle on copper? Now, Petra costs 400 production, and it is from the ancient and classical era. So this guy costs 120 points. What if, hear me out here, what if I went for the industrial zone? What if I powered hard for Imhotep, tried to buy him, used this 350 production to get the Petra in this city super fast? I like that plan. I can always tell when it's going to happen, dude. It's like the game does just something weird. Well, my game crashed again, so I'm going to call that the end of the episode. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.